And away we go here for Xbox Division 3.
Still wheel to wheel coming out of turn 19.
Tries to go down the inside of Desio. Desio giving him space, but not by much.
Oh, and he's oversteered, and he spun. They're side by side, off the track, neck and neck. Hello and welcome to PPR's PC Division 2. We're here at the Hanoi circuit in Vietnam, and alongside me I'm joined today by a new commentator for PPR, Biggles. Say hello, man.
Hello everybody, welcome to Vietnam. Glad to be joining you in the commentary booth.
Yeah, we're very glad to have you. Looks like our drivers are just getting out on track. Looks like it seems to be a bit cloudy today, so we'll see how our drivers fare with this weather. Let's pull up our menu real quick, see who's just on their out lap.
I do have a weather report. I always have managed to hack into race control. So the weather report is showing that it's going to be raining pretty soon and raining
Looks like
hard.
I've seen some drops. I'm following race 33 right now. He's the first out on track in that Williams. Looks like I may have seen a drop or two. Not entirely sure though. So it could be a very interesting quality.
I would certainly get a lap in right now if I was these guys, because the conditions are not going to get any better. So I hope Jeff is getting this information to them, because yeah, if you get a quick lap in now and it gets wetter, you might have a huge advantage for qualifying.
100%. Yeah, it looks like race 33 is the first one out, so they'll have the biggest advantage if those raindrops are falling. Again, I can't entirely see if we hop on board. Yes, it definitely is raining. You can see on the onboard rain coming down through the halo. So he'll be looking to set a lap right away. Looks like right behind him on his out lap is Custom. But meanwhile, race 33 is in prime position to snag a quick and saucy pole position here right out the gates.
So there's a hack into race control. I'm just trying to get some names typed into the team entry information there, so I'll details.
Sure, yeah.
Race.
Biggles, if you don't mind turning up your mic a little bit or talking a little bit closer so we can have everyone hear you.
Hold up. Here we go. How's
There
this
we
bit
go.
better?
That's a lot better. There we go. Love to hear it.
Yep.
Perfect. We'll get you in the stream. All right. Meanwhile, race 33 though, coming into sector 3 now. Just completed the long 2 straights. That rain coming down a little bit harder now. Navigating these S's. Taking it a little bit easy though. Doesn't want to spin out, tap one of those walls. Very easy to get caught out there, as we've seen in our previous divisions. Taking it nice easy. Looks like the next car behind him could be the AlphaTauri of Macau. We'll see what time he can post in this semi-damp track condition. It's P1 with a 38.3, so solid lap there by him. Here comes Macau though, up to the line. We'll see what he can do. Starting his lap now, so he may have been validated from that lap. But Becky B goes P1, the Williams teammate, with a 36.4, with Henners going P2 with a 36.7. So not too shabby. Max Payne has retired from the session. Looks like that was on the start-finish straight. We'll see what Striffium says. Yes, he did. Spun out just before the line, so it was unable to set a time. Striffium in P6 with a 39.9. The Renault driver of Kermit in P7. Looks like the Red Bull of Mexena coming up to the line. We'll see what he can do. Goes P9 on the medium tire. We'll throw up that tire detail for you. Looks like Skypits is on the intermediate tires. So trying an alternate strategy there. Dragonville going P6 with a 38.9. So plenty of action here right off the bat in quali. Usually drivers take a minute or two to figure out what's going on, but everyone decided to get out as soon as possible. Skybus sitting on those intermediates. He decided it's not a good idea. He'll be going back into the pits, possibly switch the tire. Looks like the rain is still the same. Macau has set a 36.2, so my timing board didn't update right away. BTFU in P2.
So Henners has invalidated his lap. He's in P4. He's not going to be able to improve. I'm seeing some greens, obviously, but that's because these are drivers that's from custom there. He has not set a time, but he's going to be crossing the line to set a time at least. He's on, obviously, the Inters, first of the Inter runners, I believe. So what's he going to set there? Or he hasn't set a time.
It's gone P9 on my screen for a 39.0.
Oh, there it is. Yep. Oh,
Yeah, a bit of a wonky timing system. Macau set a lap and the time didn't pop up till halfway through, so.
So interesting. Still dry tires for some of these drivers, but definitely getting into conditions. Now, those who are familiar with the game, generally the call is when Jeff gets on the radio, it says to the drivers, okay, it's time to, perhaps we should think about switching to Inters, I believe, is the quote, end quote, that he said.
Gonna see there may be some issues. You can try and get those drivers back in. A couple guys left. This is the first quali that we've seen so far in PBR throughout this week that has any sort of rain, so it's cool to see. All of our tracks, or all of our races have been bone dry with the sun in the sky, so.
Yeah, this will be interesting for the race tomorrow. Yeah, it's currently conditions wet and it's getting wetter. In about 12, we won't be 20 minutes obviously into the race, but the forecast is in 20 minutes there'll be thunderstorms. However, that will not affect these drivers because their qualifying will be well done by that. In 10 minutes time, we're still showing rain, pretty heavy rain, I guess. So once again, the track conditions will not be improving. In fact, they will be cooling down a little bit as well.
Yeah, it looks like most of the drivers probably have submitted their fastest lap time. We'll see how they adjust though. Looks like Custom has missed the pit entry and is gonna go back and try again. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified here. Makes it just in time. Looks like he's all good. No one in the way on track. I don't think that's too much of a harm. Stewards may take a look at that. We'll see. Looks like Kermit's going awfully slow around the back of the track here. He might be waiting for... No, he must be out of fuel at this point.
Who's that? That's Customs completely spun as well in the McLaren. Where was he?
Yeah, he's gone around and hopped back into the pits.
I was looking at your feed there for a second.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, so split times here, which is interesting, as we kind of expected. Macau does have the fastest lap. However, he doesn't have the fastest first sector. That belongs to BTFU, and then Becky B has the fastest second sector, and then Macau can claim he has the fastest third sector. I have seen qualifying laps before from drivers that have not set any of the fastest first, second, or third sectors before. So it is possible if they get the average. Obviously, the second fastest generally sector times overall, but at the moment, Macau is looking good with that qualifying time there, 136.2.
And DRS is disabled now, so that means the rain is coming down hard enough to where the stewards, race control thinks that DRS should be disabled. So here we are with Skybits though on the inters. He has yet to set a lap, so we'll see if he can improve, get ahead of Mech Senna with a 141. But I don't believe many drivers will be able to improve on their times given the conditions of the track. It's getting wetter, and thus lap times will be increasing. And I believe Kermit missed the pit entry, was unable to turn around, lost some of his wing, and is still in low fuel mode. So he is now doing 2 laps with low fuel. So we'll see just how he makes it around. Dragamon has retired. He knows this session is not going to improve. Looks like Custom thinks he can improve with a 39 on a soft tire. So he's going back out in the McLaren.
I just want to check with anybody on Twitch there. You give us a shout out if you've heard from any of the drivers whether or not the weather report is for tomorrow. I do have the, obviously from hacking into race control, I have the current weather report, but I don't have the weather report for the race tomorrow, shall we say, straight after qualifying.
Yeah, so it could be a completely varying strategy. We'll see. We've seen a bunch of different strategies here at Vietnam. 2-stop, 1-stop. 2-stop seems to be generally the consensus here for most of our divisions, most of our drivers we'll be seeing. Usually a soft to a medium or soft again, possibly a soft to hard one stop. We've seen a couple of soft to medium one stop, so Custom struggling here on his out lap. He may call it a day, head into the pits at this rate. Looks like the rain is not going to lighten up in the next 6 minutes to where the track will dry at all. So this could be it for our lap times. A very quick qualifying.
Dry race we've just heard there from Patrick. Thank you very much. That'll make it interesting then, because obviously it's kind of throwing the order around there. Although I did expect Macau to be up there too. Hannah's up there. Ramacon probably a little further back from what he would be. Strifium probably could have improved a little bit, but I think he might have come out a little late or made a mistake. Once again, it was all crucial with those first couple of laps, getting that quick time in, getting that pace in, essentially a banker, but no time as the track just does not improve. That is it. You don't get a second chance if you make a mistake.
Exactly, yeah. We saw Custom come around there with a big drift through Sector 3. Kept it out the wall, though. Not that it really matters too much here at the end, but let's keep it nice and safe. Kermit finally making it back to the pits. Looks like everyone is in the pits. Red Hornet is on an out lap on Inter, so he thinks he can improve his time. Maybe he's... there's no reason to practice in the wet, considering there's a dry race, so...
That's true.
We'll
He's
see
in
what
12. I wonder if he
is.
feels he can get a little bit more out of that, although everybody that's qualified up ahead are qualified on dry tyres. So, well, you can see if there's any possible extra pace. Not too much to lose. I would have liked to see so top speeds, I'm going to give it kilometers per hour, so I work in kilometers per hour. Max Panna and Strufium, Dragonbone all have the fastest top speed, 336. So this is interesting on this track as well, because this, obviously with those long straights, that top speed, it can make a big difference in gaining under that slipstream, especially with the DRS as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in race pace, it's the means of overtaking and staying ahead. So if you're slow through the corners, it's not too bad during the race. You can easily make that up on the straights, and especially with the help of that DRS. So top speed is definitely crucial at this track, as passing, and especially in Sector 3, it's very hard to come by in those high-speed S's. Looks like some drivers just going out on Inters regardless. Red Hornet on his flyer right now on the intermediate tires. Coming down the second straight.
Giving us some entertainment, I guess. So they went board up here in the commentary booth.
Yeah, giving us a nice little show of what water looks like here in Hanoi.
Also, shout out giving some sponsor time as well. Why not? Some TV coverage.
100%, yeah.
Do you have any picks for your potential drivers they could win this race from your experience with the previous races?
Well, we saw Macau completely dominate in Australia. BTFU making his comeback back after winning the championship last season, came back and won his first race back last time out in Bahrain. So he's not too far off, just a couple of hundredths there off Macau in the pole time. So you see Red Hornet slap the wall a little bit there. So BTFU, I definitely think, is in the running for the victory here. But Macau, of course, has that outstanding pace. So if Macau can keep it together, he surely should have this one quite easily. But, you know, safety cars are possible, very possible at this track.
Australian as well. That kind of helps.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that fighting spirit.
Shout out for my Australian mates out there. But yeah, but also noticed before in other league races that I've managed to commentate for Macau, he's very good on his tires, and his strategy and tire management is very, very good. And that's a key, obviously, to winning race. You can have pace, and there's a lot of drivers that do have outright pace, but you have to combine that with how good you are on your tires. It makes a difference as whether you can do the undercut or the overcut. And yeah, strategy as well. You're going to get the right call of boxing under the safety car, and obviously choosing the right tires as well. But that's just a part of a driver's skill that you need to learn in order to be very competitive in this game.
Exactly, and that comes with experience, knowing what certain laps to pit on and to what tire, and to those varying strategies, calling those audibles on the spot, especially as a driver. Of course, these drivers don't really have race engineers and a whole team of strategists. Fortunately for them, they don't have any Ferrari strategists on their team telling them what to do. So hopefully they can make the right call here.
Cool.
Looks like Henners, though, is just parading around. And then Mercedes, love that livery in the rain. Looks nice and mean.
I'm not quite sure if Valtteri would agree on that, not in the rain, but in the dry.
Yeah.
In Spain, he did not. I believe he was complaining about his black overalls were obviously drawing the heat.
Oh yeah,
Which-
I bet.
So
I saw his comment there, and I bet wasn't too comfortable for him. But of course, with the ease they had in that race, at least maybe not for him, but for Lewis, probably wasn't too much of an issue.
two cars on track, 3 now. Kermit leaving the pits also. All cars on track on the Inter tires. 4 cars, sorry, my bad. Custom race.
Oh.
And Henderson just gone completely.
Henners has gone completely
pole.
off.
I think he's just had enough. He's just having a little bit of fun. He wants to test the crash structure on the car.
Perhaps,
I guess.
yeah, just a very, very missed braking point. As race 33 is out, our first driver to get out on track is now back out on the Inters. He was only able to set a 38 there on that banker lap, so given he had the...
Something for the team to do, get back to the pits and have to rush to fix the car before the race.
Yeah, exactly. Just making sure their Mercedes team is as good as they say. They have the resources, the funding. They're able to get it done. So it looks like...
no cheating like they used to have back in the day. You can jump straight back in the pits and have this third car that's all automatically ready and set up, usually for the #1 driver too. None of those days are over.
Exactly.
As races stopped on track completely.
He's retired and Custom is retired, and it looks like they've just forgotten what the hairpin is. Custom and Henner's unable to do it. Looks like Kermit's on his outlap. I'm not sure how. I think there may still be a bug where... Actually, I'm not entirely sure. Where the commentators, spectators do not have the exact time that the session currently is under, but right now, yeah, Kermit's gonna go ahead and retire from the session, so that'll be it. So Macau setting a lap early on, getting it done in a semi-dry condition, gets pulled by just a couple of hundredths ahead of BTFU, so that'll be a great battle off the line. Followed by Becky B in the Williams P3, Henners in P4, Kervix P5, Micron in P6, Race 33 P7, Dragon Mode P8, Custom P9, Strifium in P10 to round off the top 10. And a couple of guys, Max Pena not setting a lap for retiring on his first hot lap. And Senna on the mediums, Skybits on intermediates, setting quite a slow time down there. But so we got 5 drivers with a free choice of tire, it looks like. But Macau sitting pretty easy there on pole in the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, Thomas just asked me to turn the lap detail on for quality so we can see the drivers improving or not. It's unfortunately, Thomas, the qualifying's over now, but yeah. I doubt anyone is going to improve anyway there, Thomas, because the track was getting wetter. But for sure, next time, yeah, we'll try to remember to organize that for you.
Definitely. I can guarantee you, though, for that session, you just see a big plus with a very large number for each sector, given the amount of water that was on track and consistently getting more and more wet. But definitely, yeah, in the future when we have a dry, increasing conditions track, we can definitely show that data for you.
Yeah, I have my own telemetry up, so I don't really pay that much attention to that. Sorry. Out there to everybody that's in the chat world. I'm looking generally at my own telemetry on the 2 different monitors that I have. So I'm kind of just looking all over the place, trying to, as a little hack into race control so I can see what's going on.
Biggles is race control at this point. He's gotten so far in there. So our driver's choosing their strategy now, getting all set up, selecting the amount of fuel they want. We'll have our formation lap underway here very shortly. So right now, if we go over the championship standings, Macau is in the lead, followed by Maxime B, who currently isn't here, unable to make the race today. Excuse being not home, which is unfortunate. BTFU, though, with 25 points after last week, so looking to close that gap to Macau and try and fight for that championship lead. Becky B, of course, a strong contender for the win as well. Becky B's showed some good pace here throughout the past couple of weeks. So we'll see inaugural season for Becky B. So definitely looking to prove a point.
No, it's good. We're looking good for these two guys, Macau and BTFU, as you'd mentioned. Nothing between these guys. Very, very close. It's going to be an interesting little battle between them. I'm kind of probably expecting that they're probably going to be kind of scooting off ahead in their own kind of little battle. But it's good for them because it's very crucial in this to get that track position out in front, because most likely we're going to expect a lot of carnage going into those first kind of like sort of giant paperclip, not even a paperclip, that first hairpin.
Whatever you'd like to call it, that wonky turn.
Yeah, so getting in and out of that safely is crucial because, you know, there's 28 laps in this race, but I think a lot of the times these drivers aren't aware of that, and they just assume there's only one lap in this race, so they give it everything they possibly can, and thus you'll see lots of carnage, millions of dollars of carbon fiber flying all over the place. So once again, Macau and BFT, providing these guys don't take each other out, should be able to scoot off down the road and escape that safety and kind of just pace it too as well, because they probably would expect some sort of virtual safety car or safety car, at least in the first couple of laps.
Exactly. I'm sure they'll be looking to manage their tires as well. Given the previous circumstances, we've had plenty of safety cars here, so they may be almost expecting one and possibly planning their strategy to change around that.
So air temperature is 26 Celsius, track is 33. Good temperature for the soft tires. Good temperature for the driver comfort as they start lining up. So I'll let you.
Yeah, after we also, just a forewarning, the timing at Vietnam is horrible. So the correct driver will not be in the correct position. So just to look out for that. As the drivers are now lined up, we now don't have feed. It's 5 red lights. Okay, it's lights out underway. My screen is completely frozen. Looks like Macau finally gets away now. We have no timing board at the moment. Tire data is not enabled. Macau gets away very cleanly though. Looks like a bit of a slow run there. BTFU under attack now by Becky B. He's looking to go up the inside in the Williams. They've tucked in behind though. Looks like the Racing Point up the inside of the Alfa Romeo. They're gonna go side by side. Alfa Romeo squeezing out. They're getting through, but meanwhile, Macau out in front, getting a good lead on BTFU. And there is a VSC. So not entirely sure what happened because I do not have the timing tower.
Lots of carnage there. Kermit, it looks like. And the Renault, I'm not sure. Might not be Kermit. There's a couple other drivers in the mid-pack here have got a little bit of damage there from their end plates. I saw carbon fiber flying all around the place. So I'll try to get to you as to which of those drivers anyway. But Custom and Kermit have dropped 3 and 2 places there. Curvex dropped 2 places and down to P7. Big gainer there. Skybits TTV moved up to the 10th position, gaining 4 positions up the lead there. So I'm sure some of these other drivers will drop back have some damage and will most likely be boxing.
Yeah, we'll see that. As Henders goes pretty deep there. Looks like the VSC is still underway, but the driver's going pretty quick now. VSC is still enacted at the moment. So Macau with a great start, unfortunately, has closed a bit now with this VSC. Becky B, though, almost making the move on BTFU in that first turn. And looks like we've gone green officially, so BTFU now under pressure from Henders as well. So we got a bit of a train forming here between all of our drivers. Starting from Macau, we'll see how Macau can pull away at the Racing Point. Curvix. Trying to get ahead.
That's P8. He must have got some damage there as well. Custom, I expected a damage. Max Senna has damage. Max Penna has damage. And who else is in there? Kermit's it's Red Hornet's box as well. So all these must have got picked up some damage there or some time penalties. Yes, front wings changing on these cars. So, but get it over and done with early. And there's still lots of racing to go. Macau's still leading the race at the moment, pulling a 1.6 lead now.
Yeah, he's got a very comfortable lead at the moment. Looks like, according to our timing screens, Becky B's a minute and 46 seconds ahead of everyone. But Right now, he's in the back of BTFU, looking to make a move, trying to poke up the inside there, compromising his run. So BTFU will get a good exit out of here. We'll see, of course, no DRS enabled just yet. We got the racing point of Dragonbone on the back of race 33. Big train here. Looks like no one's really close enough to make a solid overtake at the moment. Becky B too far back from BTFU. Macau just pulling ahead ever so slightly. He's out of that DRS range, so he's going to be comfortable if they can get to lap 3 with that gap staying at least the same, if not bigger.
Well, it looks like Racer 33 and P7 has dropped down in a couple of places there now. Ramacon's up to P5. Kervix is up to P6 there. Dragonbone, his teammate, the other Racing Point driver, is at P8. So, but that's the big battle there. And Hannah's putting the pressure on Becky B, as you said. So they're all being backed into Becky B show. Becky B's backing everybody into it. Becking Becky, it's all getting a little tongue twisted right
Becking
now.
Becky, becking in. Exactly. Macau sets the fastest lap of the race. He's going along now. Kervix right on the back of Romicron, though. He's looking to make a move surely this lap now that DRS is enabled. See if we can get it done. Racing Point driver looking mighty fresh out the gates. He's got some rapid pace, it seems. A little bit oversteer on that curb. He's got that DRS, but so does Romicron off of Henner's up ahead. So it'll be hard for him to reel him in. Looks like Becky B has broken that DRS from Henner, so he's in the clear up in P3 at the moment. Henner's under big pressure now from Romicron. He's not going to have DRS, but Romicron will have DRS. He's got plenty of battery, you can see on his dash. So hopefully he can make a move here to the lovely sound of that Ferrari engine. Cruise along. He's going to get up beside him before the DRS zone. Flap wide open now. Here comes the Racing Point, though, of Kervix. It's going to be a double overtake on Henner's. Up the inside he goes. He's going to go deep. They're going to go side by side. A little bit of contact. Some end plate gone from the Racing Point. Henner's gets back ahead. Double overtake from Henner's. Unfortunate for the Racing Point driver. It looks like the Alfa Romeo came away unscathed, fortunately, but he did lose out 2 positions in there after his stellar overtake. So Kervix, unfortunately, missing his braking point.
I don't see any damage on the Alfa Romeo driver there. They should predict the pit stop strategy. We can either go to the mediums, into the hards. Actually, we're expecting 2 pit stops during this race. It's going to be very difficult to take these tyres all the way in the end. Becky B there is now kind of picked up the pace there, hanging up there with the race leaders there. Just 0.4 seconds behind. So something in that car is Becky B has just turned that Williams up right now and has just managed to put the pressure all over the back now of BTFU. This is good news for Macau. It's giving a bit of breathing space now, 2.3 seconds. So I wonder if BTFU had a big mistake because Williams all over the back right now. Look at this, about to make a pass. This is going to look easy.
Gets that move
slots back.
nice and
Well
done.
done. So we thought Becky was kind of holding people up there for a second. I thought Becky was just sandbagging because Becky's now up at the P2.
Just waiting for those tires to get in the optimal range. Looks like, yeah, BTFU is really struggling through that first sector around that roundabout of T1, 2, and 3. Looks like he's going to have a decent run here on Becky B. We'll see if we can get through. Becky B looking pretty solid. We'll see how he goes into the hairpin. Looks like BTFU's going to come up the inside. Will he be late on the brakes? He will. It goes up the inside. They're going to be side by side. BTFU sticking in the inside. Becky B staying nice around the outside. Stays ahead. BTFU getting some oversteer there.
Yeah, compromised by taking the different racing lane in there on this circuit. That does compromise you a lot. So Becky B handled the pressure quite well and still sticking that Williams into P2. But still going to be under attack, but now out of DRS. That's the crucial part. As Kervix now looks like he's the closest there behind Hennes. That's the Racing Point. Catching all the way up the back to Hennes. Hennes has to go defensive now.
I was going to say, I was surprised the Racing Point didn't pit. He's losing his front left end plate there. But he's got some good pace right now. He's right in the back of Henner's, not dropping back at all. Romicron unable to get by as well. So he's still got the pace, even with that damaged front wing, it seems.
Yeah, Hennes is now backing up this pack. So that's interesting. Hennes doesn't appear to have any damage. And we can clearly see the end plate, right end plate on that Racing Point. And that's just backing everybody in here. So Hennes is something wrong right now. You need to Control Alt Delete or something in that car. Maybe they haven't given him the 8th gear. I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps not. But he's got good enough exit there. on the first straight to get away, but perhaps not too good here. Ooh, Curvix looking up the inside, trying to put him offline. That'll compromise his run, but he'll be close enough, surely now, to make the pass. We'll see if we can get it done this time nice and clean without too late of a dive bomb. Micron right on the back of them there too, so it'll be another double overtake on Henners. We'll see how it goes this time. This time the roles are switched. Micron's in the back, getting to the front. Gets ahead. Henners dropping back down to P6 in the span of one straight.
Yeah, some big problems right now in that Mercedes. Unless it's going to come back, but he's not over yet. This man is not happy at being overtaken, considering he should have the fastest car on track if they were equal performance. Sorry, if they weren't equal performance, but they are. So he's still.
These two drivers doing a good job of going side by side through that corner. Ultimately, though, Micron getting ahead. Meanwhile, Curvix pulling out ahead, but his teammate Dragonbone on the back of these two now, looking to make a move and catch up with his teammate, put Racing Point in a solid points position.
Yeah, great little battle here. Remember, they're only battling P5, P6, P7. But still, all these guys are yet to box. Any people that are boxed at the moment, there's Custom, Striffy, and Red Hornet. They're the only three right now. And they're back at 12, 13 for 14. But they'll come into play a little later, obviously. But these guys are in a race of their own at the moment.
Yeah, it's a crucial battle for P4 at the moment, although Curvix is solidifying his spot up there. As Henry gets big oversteer there, almost taps the wall, compromises his run. Dragonbone surely should have the move done here. We'll see where Henners goes to the inside. We'll see if he can hold that line. They're going to go side by side. Nope. Henners tucks in behind. Dragonbone gets the move done, and nice and easy, capitalizing on Henners' mistakes. Now his next victim will be Micron. See if he can jump back up with his teammate. Ooh, tap the wall there. Looks like from Henners. Hopefully no damage. There's a yellow flag. Looks like the McLaren of Custom has gone round. He's spun in that second turn there. Safely rejoins.
Back on track, but loses out to last place right now. This guy Bits is behind him, a little further down the road there. As Macau goes through the final sweeping left sections, 4.2 seconds ahead of everybody. Almost to the lead zone right now. His last lap was a 1:30.7. However, he did invalidate one of the corners, so he got a warning. No penalties yet, but a little bit of a slap across the wrist. Naughty boy. He knows he can only get 3 of them before he gets a time penalty. And who's diving in the pit? So that's Henners. So Henners is definitely not happy with those tires. See what sort of pit stop times he will get. So he's put one of the
Meanwhile, Dragonbone looking for a move on Micron. Micron getting ahead though, staying in front of the Racing Point driver, but Dragonbone's really found some pace here. He's looking to make a move back on Micron as soon as possible. Curvix not pulling away too far now, but of course they're falling into the back of BTFU. So BTFU falling off a lot while Becky B's pulling ahead. Curvix looking for a snag of the podium positions right now.
Oh, Max Panner's gone into the pits, but he's got a pit lane speeding violation. He'll have to serve a stop go. He'll have to serve 5 seconds for that. Otherwise, he gets added onto the end. But Henners is left at the box on mediums. We're looking at about a 32-second, 33-second pit stop, and that was a great pit stop there for Henners. So that's the time that we're looking at the moment. So obviously, if you do look at that, if you want to beat Macau, for example, you want to make sure you can get at least a 32-second gap, and obviously Jeff or whoever engineer he possibly can have trying to find some clear air for him to box and come back out, and definitely not be in this huge battle between BTFU, Kerry, Skybit, Dragon that are all there, even though there are some back markers coming in there, but still they
Yeah, Red Hornet and Custom side by side. Custom edging out through the roundabout here. Red Hornet's going to have a great exit, though, possibly have a run. We know Custom has that wing damage still. BTFU and Curvix are going side by side. Sorry, they are not. BTFU's into the pits now. He's had enough of those soft tires. We can see he was dropping off a huge amount to Becky B. That inherits Curvix into P3.
You can see the times are dropping now for the leaders. They're now into the 139s and into the 140s. Now, remember that before, though, that Macau got down as low as 137s, and the average is around 138s, and so now they're in 139s. This is the territory now where you have to make a decision. Do you stay out longer and potentially lose a couple of seconds per lap, or do you box and gain a couple of seconds per lap and get some fresh rubber?
This is the window at the moment. We'll see who decides when to pit. No safety cars, knock on wood, a commentator's curse inbound. But Romicron right in the back of Curvix, he's gotten a good run. Curvix dropping off a little bit now without the help of that DRS from BTFU.
See Henner's boxing again. It wasn't Henner's boxing again.
He must be boxing again. Yeah, he may have got some more wing damage, but here comes Romicron for P3. Ooh, Curvix looking to close that door a little bit too early. They're going to go side by side. Curvix going to stay around the outside. Again, he still has that wing damage. He's kept up some great pace. Gets a little pushed off track there. Here comes his teammate, though. Dragon Ball is going to get ahead, so Curvix loses out 2 positions there on the straight. And through the hairpin, Romicron up into P3. It's a great scrap for that final step of the podium positions.
We're seeing that a lot, aren't we? We're seeing these drivers losing 2 positions just in a couple of corners. So, but obviously Curvix now wants to put that pressure back. But how long can those tires last? We're already seeing times tumbling right now. They're in 140s. They're almost in the 141s.
Yeah, so Romicron has pitted now. He's made that overtake. He knows he's going to start losing pace. A little smack of the wall there from Curvix. He's just giving up on his wing. Can't damage it enough. We'll see the top 6 yet to pit at the moment. Everyone else has made a pit stop. Skybit's the one with the most places gained at the moment. Started near the bottom, and he's up to P6 now on those medium tires, so he'll look to stretch it as long as possible. He should theoretically inherit the lead, I believe, once everyone pits, depending on Macau's pace and his pit stop time.
Be back with you in 1 second.
Here comes Curvix, Racing Point battle for P3. Something we've seen before this season in real life. Curvix seems to be just a little bit too far back. He's got plenty of battery though. He's been really saving that battery, possibly for the later stages of this race. Right now he's cruising along. Props to him at the moment. He's got some wing damage. Yet able to keep the pace up for a podium spot in PCD2. Looks like race 33 though. Going along side by side with Skybits. He's on those old softs. Skybits looking to make the overtake. Race 33, who is already in P5. Skybits on the charge back. Looks like race 33 will stay ahead. Those softs are starting to go. Skybits surely has the stronger tire now. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there coming through sector 3 now. Gotta keep it nice and tidy on old tires. This is a very deadly sector. If you lose it for even just a second, you can smack the wall and possibly end your race. It's the battle for P5 right now. Super close. Here comes Skybits trying to go up the inside. Giving race 33 little bump pass there. So they're going to go side by side. We'll see what happens. Skybits backs out, gives him position. He knows it wasn't fair. He has the DRS now. He'll try and get it done as the pit window's open for a 2-stop strategy. Skybits missing the braking point. Huge there. Almost hitting the back of race 33 yet again. Curvix, though, right on the back of Dragon Bone. He's going to look for a move. No, he's not. He's going to back off. Not trying to take out his teammate at the moment. Skybits losing out to race 33. He's dropped back quite a bit now.
Interesting. His strategy is we're still seeing Macau out right now on those tires. That's Becky B. So I'm really curious as to what the strategy call there from Jeff is.
Yeah,
well,
we've seen a couple of drivers do a 1-stop from lap 11 on the softs to a medium all the way to the end. So we could see that happen. They could pit this lap or the next lap for some hards as well. We'll see ultimately what they do. They're probably waiting for a safety car, hoping for something to happen.
Yeah, interesting to be curious why Henner's boxed again for those soft tires. You need 1 lap. He must have had damage or he must have served a penalty because he only did the 1 lap on the mediums and decided that's enough and went to the hard and to the softs. So he can run those softs to the end. It's going to be a bit of a long haul, but to do 19 laps on those softs. But he's got some pace right now. He's setting personal bests, and he is the fastest man on the track. However, he's in P10. He's 55 seconds off the leader.
Speaking of the fastest man on track,
the Macau is in the box.
So he'll drop down to, I believe, P6 at the moment. Skybits, no, hopping in the pits now. Opting for an early pit on those mediums. Macau will come out healthily in P4 at the moment, actually.
Yeah, big space, but he's got traffic ahead of him. So that's going to cost him some time. I'm not quite sure if that would happen there. Let's have a look at his pit stop strategy. I think Macau entering the pits. I haven't got a time there yet. Or Macau's pit stop, unfortunately.
So they'll have to try and get through these battling Racing Points who have been battling all race long for that P3 position, which is now P2. See how quickly he can get to him. He's on those fresh hards, but hards do take a lap or two to really kick in. But from that, look at that exit. He's got a solid chance at overtaking Curvix here. They've both got DRS though, so we'll see what Curvix decides to do. He's going to go defensive, use some of that overtake. He's going to stay ahead quite easily here, it looks like. Macau not going to go for the move. He knows he's got the pace down the line. Not looking to sacrifice any position. He's going to get held up quite a bit though, so Becky B could look to see an overcut here if Becky B decides to pit this time around. He's going to look for the upside. He's getting slowed down quite a bit from the Racing Point.
Yeah, super bad strategy. And he's on those hard tires as well, so they're going to take a bit to warm up. Obviously, he has the pace. We've seen it. But still, it's one thing to have the pace. It's another place you need to overtake. And you want to overtake, too, without losing your front wing, especially if you're compromising the possible first step on the podium right now.
You can see how impatient he's getting. He's trying to get by every single corner. Looks like Becky B's really going to benefit from this.
Becky B's box. Macau's passing the box right now, so it's going to, you know, it's hurting Becky B, but still, Macau should make that stick around the outside. Now gets the inside line out. Now those tires should come up the temperature, but Curvex is still not giving up right now in the Racing Point. He's like, yeah, you might. Oh, there he is. He's had to finally lift off there now. And that's actually given Macau the DRS run down the main straight too. So that's essentially bye-bye to the Racing Point. And Macau now has a comfortable lead as Becky's out of the box.
Curvex has gone super deep there.
Yeah, 5.7 away there from Macau now. So, but Becky B's on the different tires. Becky B is now on the medium. So let's see what the pace is between the mediums and the hards.
Yeah, we'll see Becky B try and close that gap as soon as possible. Looks like Race 33 is going at it with Dragonbone. They're both on, opposite strategies. Race 33 is on old, soft tires. Dragonbone on fresh mediums, getting by quite easily.
Telemetry sometimes is a limit to give me the correct information.
Race 33 doing a good job on those 11-lap old soft tires, as well as Curvex. Right now, Curvex is solidifying himself as driver of the day for me. With a broken wing, 11-lap old softs, he finally decides to pit as his teammate pit the previous lap. Gets in nice and easy.
Customs boxing again. The Curvex is now boxing there from the front for P3.
Surely he'll get a new wing. We'll take a look at that actually.
In the box now, Romacon will pass him. BTFU will pass him. Dragon will get out ahead of Racer 33's boxing as well. So that's it for the soft tire runners. It is over. 12 laps is all that they wanted. Skybits will now move up into P6. Hennes is going to come around here. So Hennes, after boxing 3 times, should get out just ahead. It's going to be a tight battle there between Hennes and Curvex out of the pit lane.
Curvex got it nice and easy.
There you go.
Curvex surely is going to be on a charge now, try and get back up to that podium spot. Looks like there's a couple of 2-stoppers ahead of him, but Dragonbone, his teammate, winning out huge there with that pit stop. Looks like Curvex lost out a huge amount of time according to our telemetry. They were neck and neck when Dragonbone pit.
Curvex had to say time.
He did have to switch his wing. That's right.
Yeah, Curvex had to do it. Curvex did a 38.4. Racer did a 38.7. So the pit stop, remember, it was about 33 seconds. So if you add the 5 seconds, you have to do a time penalty on, then you got a 38 seconds. So Max Senna had a 38 as well. Skybits was good, 32. That was a clean pit stop. 41 for custom. So even more damage and time penalties. Hennes did a 38 in his last pit stop. So yeah, that was the reason why they lost that time.
We got Max Pena closing in now on Red Hornet, coming down the back straight. He's got the move done nice and easy in that Renault. 1,000 brake horsepower. Into the hairpin he goes, and that's the move done nice and easy up into P12 on those 5-lap old softs. Meanwhile, though, Dragon Bone and P5 right in the back of BTFU. So BTFU seems to be struggling. Quality pace was definitely there, but unfortunately, it looks like his race pace isn't holding up just as well.
Yeah, Funky Cactus. I like that name there, Funky Cactus. Hards could be at play here. Well, it's interesting. Mikhail's the only one on hards apart from the other driver there, which is Red Hornet. So Red Hornet, but however, has done 10 laps on those hards. They can easily go to the end. So we've got Red Hornet's pace. Red Hornet's last pace, a 142.2. And Mikhail's last lap was a 138.9. So, however, they are in different parts, different ends of the grid at the moment. Mikhail's in P1, Red Hornet's in P13. But still, those we can see Becky B's last lap was a 138.4. So Becky B is almost half a second quicker than Mikhail. So let's see. We are starting to see a little bit of a tire difference. And if Becky B can continue at this pace right now, 4.7 behind Mikhail.
Got a yellow flag with the Mercedes, though. Henners has spun coming out of the exit.
That's dropped him back already out of the points. As Struffim will come around behind Henners. They're old friends, they are. So, but however, Henners has picked up the pace and has resumed. But those tires are hot. You've got to be very careful. Got to cool them down. Luckily, he's got that straight.
He's got some wing damage now from that contact with the wall, though. Max Pena, though, on the move, looking to make a move on Striffium. Looks like he'll be a bit too far back. He may make a late lunge here. We'll see what happens. Nothing doing there. Meanwhile, Kervix is caught up to Skybits now. Looking to make the move soon as well.
Yeah, lots of battles on track, which is good. There's a lot of little inter-battles. They are pretty well spread out across the whole track map. This is a 5.6 kilometer track, but it's good to see all these little squabbles together that we're seeing. Skybit once again, we're seeing Henners, Striffium. Looks like Henners is just going boxing again. 3-second time.
Henners is not having a great day for Mercedes. Skybit's lagging out a bit there, so he seemed to drop back to P7 quite easily. Kervix now going to be on a charge to try and catch his teammate up in P5. Racing Point looking pretty solid here at the moment.
Mikhail's kind of maintaining. I think Mikhail's had he's had the call from Jeff to say, you know, hang on, we're under threat a little bit from Becky here. Becky's starting.
Oh, Striffium with a compromised run now for the points position here. Sorry, Max Pena with him looking for a move early on. AlphaTauri coming across the track, looking to defend. Goes up the inside. Here comes Pena. Nice and easy. Gets the move done. Goes very deep though. And causing a bit of a traffic jam as Red Hornet makes a bit of contact with Striffium. Here comes Striffium up the inside. They're going to go side by side. And Striffium will have the DRS.
Well, Max Pena's got 7 laps on those 8 laps, shall we say now. We know that those softs are only going to run to about 11. So, and I'm sure Striffium is very wise himself. He's been racing a lot. Runs a racing league, so he knows exactly with the DRS open. It's only a matter of time before he's going to be back up into the points pace position. It's almost Red Hornet took a huge dive down the inside, big lock up, but luckily avoided the AlphaTauri driver there, Striffium once again. He's got we're already almost just past the halfway point now, so you know he's been solid. He's got plenty of time. You know, he doesn't have to try to risk anything too dangerous. Got to keep that wing.
Definitely. Striffium will have to pit again, though. I'm assuming his strategy is looking for a 2-stop because he's currently on 12-lap old medium, so we'll see what he decides to do. He tries to pop on some softs here at the end. He may look to pit soon. Red Hornet really putting some pressure on him in the back. He's not giving him any chance to ease up. Meanwhile, Dragon Bone's still in the back of BTFU. He's looking for a move here. A Racing Point driver very close to the McLaren driver already. BTFU trying to cover the track as much as possible. He's running out of battery as they scream down the back straight. Racing Point on the inside of the McLaren. Up the inside he goes. They're side by side through the hairpin. BTFU's going to hang on around the outside, get a little bump off track, but that's the move. Easily done for Dragon Bone. BTFU struggling, it seems. He's almost out of battery there as well. And that's Racing Point up into P4.
He's had some absolutely fantastic pace. As we saw, he qualified second. Just almost, you know, within 100th of a second, 200th of a second outside of Mikhail's pace there. And then, but yet he's just struggling through this race. He's kind of just been dropping back through the field. He's had some good little good little squabbles, shall we say, with these other cars. We've seen some great entertainment there. But he's just not having some fun with these tires, and his race pace is just not quite what we've expected from his qualifying pace.
Definitely, yeah. We see Becky B up there now within 4.2 of Macau. We know the mediums are a bit quicker, so we'll see if Becky B can close that gap. But Macau's been pretty comfortable. He could just be setting the pace at the moment, not trying to push too hard, not trying to cause anything. Right now, we've had a pretty clean race, apart from Henner's hitting the wall a couple times in that early incident early on. Skybits.
Skybits is boxed right now. Race is going to be passing him. Races moves up in it, but Skybits should be perfectly okay. Max Penner is further down the road there. Skybits will be returning back out in crucial points there in P9 and making that that pit stop. That should be the last pit stop for him. He would be able to run to the end and have some nice fresh tires. As Henners has decided.
Henners has retired. There's a safety car out now. Henners has binned it in Sector 3 in the S's.
Yeah. So he has done his fellow MRL friend
There he
Mikal
is.
absolutely no favors by doing that, unless Mikal boxes right now. And Becky B obviously could follow Mikal into the box, because it's going to be interesting to see what Mikal's going to do. Now let's go, because Mikal
Goes for it.
He goes for the pit stop. There it is. What's Becky going to do? Follow him in? And yes, Becky does.
Surely they'll put on softs now.
Rama Custom is a lap down. What about Ramacon?
Surely everyone's going to pit now after seeing the leaders pit. I doubt anyone. Maybe Dragon Mode could stay out. Yep, and inherit the lead, so he might be on those.
Some strategy to get some track position. I mean, at the moment, if you're a little further back and your tires are fresh, why not do it? It's got to be worth the risk, you know. Otherwise, if you do box behind, then you're not going to get track position.
Exactly. Looks like mostly everyone's going in the pits except for Dragon Mode, so he could be holding on for dear life the last
5 laps. Yeah, and you got to remember, it's going to be at least probably 2. They're pretty well spread out on track, so I'm expecting about 2 laps.
Wow, Macau getting out ahead of Dragon Bone. That was a quick stop from him.
Wow. Yeah. Let's have a pit stop time there.
Just barely made it through.
34.9 seconds. Not super quick, but BTFU had a good stop. 32.6 seconds. So it's not bad there.
Curvex off. Race 33 staying out.
You want something interesting? Spoil everybody's day. Actually, I will give you a little bit of an update on the penalty situations in a second. The only penalties at the moment is Curvex for 3 seconds. That is corner cutting penalties, mind you.
And that,
if there are 5-second penalties, they are added at the end, pending that they don't serve them already during the race. I don't show those 5-second penalties because, once again, they're not actually penalties until they do not serve them or they serve them. Now, if you want something to make this race a little bit more exciting than what it is already, I foresee from my hacking and race control, there potentially will be rain coming.
hang on a minute. Did you say rain?
Rain coming in 10 minutes time.
Do you see the sky right now? What of course I don't know the weather, the common weather.
Now, but I do see. Actually, I think this might be not updated correctly. Maybe yeah, like maybe I've just spoiled everybody's surprise.
I mean, I'd love a spot of rain. To see everyone dive into the pits yet again one more time would be very exciting.
Well, I'm seeing thunderstorms and some clouds, but yeah, obviously that's not what's showing the game. So perhaps my little weather, maybe perhaps somebody's accidentally spilled some water on the weather sensor.
From
That'll
Vietnam. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky at the moment, but I'd love to see a very apocalyptic resurgence of some water in the air.
Change some information around here. We'll see if we can make
Yeah, how deep in race control are you to where you can possibly alter the outcome of this race?
Well, there we go. They're going to bunch up. So even though this is quite also good for those drivers like Dragonbone who are on 6 laps on the mediums, because he's probably sitting here right now and going, yes, I do have Mikhail ahead of me, but I'm up into P2, and the longer I can just drive and take care of these tires behind the safety car, the better for me. Because then that way I only have to essentially do 9 laps left, which you can easily do on these mediums because they're also low fuel as well, so they don't wear those tires as much. And he could be looking for potentially good for a podium spot. He's got to keep those guys that are quick behind him as well, like Becky B, Ramacon, and so forth. But still, we know it's one thing to catch people; it's another thing to overtake. You got to have straight line speed. And Dragon actually has some very good top speed, 330, second fastest in the speed trap as well. So he's designed his car to make it hard to overtake on those straights. And remember too, even when the safety car is in, the DRS is not deployed immediately. So,
Exactly. We'll take a minute to come back on. We do see that Dragonbone did create that gap between Becky B and Macau. So Becky B will have to make the move on Dragonbone as quick as possible if he wants to stay in that slipstream and DRS range of Macau. So Macau needs to shoot off in the beginning in order to solidify this win.
yep. While we're still on the safety car, I'm just going to quickly pop out 1 second and grab a nice cold beer. This is going to be an entertaining finish to the
That
race.
is a stellar idea. So the safety car will be out for one more lap. Custom, unfortunately, you see him way down there in P14. Looking to catch up. He may have enough time just to get the back of the pack. We've got, looks like he's under Delta, so he's unable to go full speed. Red Hornet trying to catch up to the back of the pack with Stryfium, Pena, and Kermit behind. Rental Boys not doing as good as they'd like this time around, but meanwhile Racing Point looking pretty solid.
Yep, I'm back with a nice fresh cold beer. I'm ready to see this, as these guys are probably wishing right now that they'd have a nice cold beer as they're sitting in the cockpit trying to warm up the tires, driving behind that Mercedes safety car.
I'm sure, especially under that sun. This stream brought to you by nice cold beer. When it's hot, have yourself a nice cold beer.
Have yourself a nice, yep. Hey, courtesy of Hennes. Thank you, Hennes, for bringing out the safety car. I was customs disqualified now as well.
Not sure what happened there.
But thank
Kermit
you, Hennes,
has decided to pit.
so I can go grab a beer. Cheers to you, sir. I'm sure that wasn't your intention, but it all helps.
Kermit opting for a pit stop. We'll see if he can catch the back of the pack. Surely the safety car isn't going to be in this lap. It's been, I believe, 3 laps. This track is insanely long to where I can't keep up on how many times they've been parading around here, but
Yeah, 5.6 kilometers. So it's a long one.
it's a bit of a stretch, yeah.
Yeah, Skybit's now boxed again. So Skybits was running all the way back there in P13. Boxing again for another. I don't know what happened. He already boxed just under the first safety car. Boxed again for some new fresh salts. He probably thought, well, I'm already at the back. Why not put some extra
Put
tires
some more on, yeah. It looks like he'll be able to catch the pack up just as the safety car comes in. We'll see as the safety car crosses the Sector 3 line now, if it comes in or not.
It should be, because even if there's one car, there it is.
There it
even
is.
if there's one car, the safety car will still go. If there's any more than one car, then it's kind of questionable on
Let's
that.
see if Kermit can catch up. He's just screaming along, trying to make the back of the pack. Looks like he'll just have it just in time. His tires will be nice and prepped for when he reaches the back of the pack. But meanwhile, Macau's setting the pace up front.
Yeah, this is dangerous right now, because I've seen a lot in the virtual racing here. These drivers actually bang wheels a lot under the safety car. So it's, while we can relax, these guys have to be very, very cautious not to lose the front wing and also get crucial time penalties, which a lot of them do on the safety cars. So they'll all behave themselves. And as racing is resuming, Macau, see what it can do, as he's the safety car now, about ready to green light to go.
There you have it. 5-second penalty for Red Hornet. Looks like there's going to be a close battle down the order a bit. Or Micron right on the back of Becky B. The Racing Point and BTFU going at it. BTFU up the inside of Curvix. Curvix getting ahead though. Makes that move done already. Dragonbone under pressure from Becky B, who's already gone ahead on those new soft tires. Dragonbone dropping down to P3. Meanwhile, Macau's pulled out a significant lead, 1.6 seconds already. And now Dragonbone's going to hold off for Micron, who's on those fresh mediums as well. Curvix, his teammate, looking to make a move as well. They get through single file now into the hairpin. A little bit of spin there and oversteer. Mercedes with Skybits shooting up the inside.
Dropping back now. They're all falling behind Dragon there. Rumcon, Curvix, BTFU, Skybits are all within a second, all within half a second of each other.
Yeah, Dragonbone and Racing 33, the only ones not to pit, so Curvix is looking for the move now. After Micron goes around the outside, possibly, of Dragonbone. unable to make it stick though, so Dragonbone stays ahead, and his teammate now, Curvix, will get the move. Little team orders there. Up the inside. Oh my goodness, Ramacron goes
he's a
too deep.
spin, and that's there's nowhere for the Racing Point to go, so he has to wait, and now they have to wait for everybody to go past almost all the way back down.
So unfortunate there for Ramacron and Curvix.
Yeah, especially under a safety car restart because the track is backed up so much. One little spin, and all of a sudden you are dead last.
Meanwhile, Macau 1.5 seconds ahead. Becky B trying his best to stay with Macau and get something done. But Curvix has retired from the session. He's dove into the pits. That's his race over after showing a promising race pace there. He was loving his drive. Fortunately, he'll have to give up there. And that'll be it. 5 laps left to go. As Ramacron has left the session. They're possibly heated, arguing it out in the chat. We'll see.
He'll be very upset right now. Yeah, there's 2 other drivers there. Well, actually, you're showing Ramacron still in here. But yeah, I did say he was retired, but maybe he's just come back in for a second. Show him in the pits there, fixing some tire damage. He's exiting the pits. Also Kermit as well.
Curvix is out of here.
Oh.
Meanwhile, one of the winners, Dragonbone, looking great up there in P3. Pulled out a DRS gap at the moment. Well, that's slowly closing.
So look at the banner there from Senna. This is Max Senna. We haven't seen much of Max Senna in the Red Bull. He's going to try to make it out around the outside of
a little bit of switchback.
Yeah, he's got the Williams up ahead. That's Racer 33. He's been racing quite well. That's the teammate of Becky B, who's up ahead. They're putting some pressure on Macau now, but this is one of the closest battles on track.
Good view on board with Red Hornet now as Max Senna is trying to make a move. He's got those much fresher tires and stickier tires than Racer 33 as he pitted under the safety car, but it looks like he's unable to get by. DRS is now unable, so surely this will help for some overtakes as we go on to lap 23 of 28.
Yeah, Dragonbone's just holding this pack up right now. So this Red Hornet's been disqualified.
He's been disqualified. So hopefully these drivers can avoid him as his AI is probably taken over now. He'll drive off the track.
It's out of the race now.
So that is that.
So now Dragonbone is going to be under a big pressure from MRL because MRL BTFU knows he needs to get past her. Now it looks like he can. So finally he's having some luck in that McLaren. Actually back up into P3. Remember he started P2. So now he's got Becky B up the road, but he's got a lot of work to do. 6.7 seconds behind Becky B. We'll keep an eye on those lap times. Becky B is actually lapping probably a similar pace, but it's not going to be able to do it. Now, who's next? Skybits. He's going to see if he can do some pressure. I don't know why Dragonbones is obviously those old, hard, medium tires, sorry, now are struggling with the pace of these new fresh tires that most of these drivers have on.
Yeah, BTFU finding some nice pace there with those new softs, able to get the car under control, make those moves that he needs. Looks like Pena and Strifium going at it side by side. Strifium gets a great exit there, pulls ahead of Pena, keeps that P8 position.
Yeah, also not on the medium compound as well too. So you'd think Max would have a little bit more pace, especially after those tires. Now they've been around the track at least twice. So, but obviously must have been made a crucial mistake there. And you don't need much for Strifium to pounce on that opportunity, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. We see Pena did not get a good exit there. He's still right on the back of Strifium though, so surely can make a move. This is the closest battle on track. Dragonbone trying to stay with BTFU up there. We can see Pena with the DRS, but just too far back now. He's lost a lot of his battery. Dragonbone will have the DRS now. He's just a bit too far back to make a move on this first straight, but possibly after this roundabout, we could see him look for a lunge into P3. He's just going to wait for BTFU.
I actually thought the little battle up front was going to be between Macau and BTFU, judging by their pace, but we're seeing a little battle up front between Macau and Becky B, so Becky B's got to make an impression here. Start to drop out now, drop 2 seconds behind Macau. Macau is human, by the way, Becky B. Macau does make mistakes, so let's see a nice battle towards the end because we know Macau is very, very quick. But once again, Macau is still a human being. He will make mistakes. Becky B has to get closer. give it everything he possibly can, he or she, and get right up there. They both had the same tires, so there was nothing between them. There are no penalties.
Pena up the inside of Strufium, gets that move done nice and easy this time. Gets a good exit and pulls ahead up into P8. But yeah, Becky B, surely all it takes is one slip of the wheel from Macau. Right now he's been looking pretty solid all race long.
Yeah, 2 seconds now. Not much you're going to be able to do. I think every time that kind of Becky B puts the pressure on, Macau kind of turns it up. Last lap from Macau, a 1:37.20. Becky B, a 1:37.22. So there's nothing between them. I think whatever Macau does, Becky B can't make an impact on at this point. Becky B probably just has to sit back and just go and wait for a potential mistake to happen. Further down the field there, still Max Senna, probably close right now there, the other Red Bull driver. Just got to get past Skybits. The different tires there, Max got to get a move on. Got the soft tires, should have the strategy there within the DRS and in a Red Bull. So got to keep within that 1 second.
Max Senna has absolutely no battery left, so he's unable to keep up with Skybits, who also doesn't have any battery left. So it's pure engine power now as they come down the back straight, but not close enough yet for Senna. Just about a second away.
Falling out of the DRS range. Oh, and then slaps the wall a little bit. So furious, and that's cost him at least half a second there right now. That probably cost his chance now. Although, don't underestimate these drivers. There's still 3 laps to go. Now you've got to build it up. That half a second you worked so hard for. Almost 6 tenths now. He's just put his head back down. You've got to just go for it again. You've got to say, okay, I made a mistake. It's cost me some time. Now I'm just going to try harder and harder and harder and try to get 1/10 out of every single possible corner that you could get any time gain, because now is the time to do it. Running out of laps, 26 or 28. Macau once again is building a little bit more of a gap there to Becky. I think Macau's just very, very comfortable.
Yeah, Macau's looking nice and comfy out there in front. He's got a decent amount of battery left. We can see Becky B's pushing, trying to catch him, trying to get within that DRS range to possibly look for the pass. But 2 laps left, and it's looking pretty slim chances here for Becky B to try and snag that win.
And Max has put his head back down. He did. And now he's gaining again. Once again, got those soft tires. Should be able to make them work. They won't wear off 8 laps. So we got finally go now within half a second. So after that mistake, he's kept his cool, put his head down, and now he's putting pressure back on Skybits. He wants that P5, and this is going to be a nice, exciting finish to give us. As Dragonbone is actually also gaining a little bit on PTFU, but we'll keep on this battle. This is
Late on the brakes goes Senna. Yeah, Dragonbone is doing an outstanding job on those 13-lap old mediums to stay with BTFU. Shows Dragonbone's got some solid pace in his pocket for sure.
Lap 26 or 28. Now Macau will be coming around a corner. He'll be starting lap 27. So this is up to Max now. Max Senna, sorry. He's got to give it everything he can. This is going to be good for him. Some crucial points there. Take it away from Skybits. Skybits is also doing a fantastic job on those medium compounds under that pressure. But how long can he last? That is the question. This is good, exciting finish in this Vietnamese Grand Prix.
This has been Skybits and Max Senna's better performances. Max Senna goes so deep there into turn 1. Both these guys battling for one of their best finishes of the season so far. We'll see who comes out on top and see how long Max Senna can make these soft tires last, as he's looking pretty racy here after 9 laps.
Now Dragon, believe it or not, in the last lap, Dragon set one of his his personal best last lap, a 1:38.9. So he was faster than Skybits, as you can see up ahead of Max Senna. So even on those 15-lap mediums, he's actually going faster for his own personal thing. But meanwhile, the leaders are in the late one at the 1:37. So once again, as we can see, they're in a different class of their own at the moment. That's why they're 13 seconds ahead of BTFU right now.
That's pretty impressive on Dragonboat's part, setting his personal best on 14-lap all mediums. You see Mike Senna unable to close on Skybits. Looks like they both have almost exactly the same amount of battery. If anything, Senna's got a bit more in the tank. But
Time is
27
running
laps.
out because the leader now, Mikhail, will cross the line and he'll start the final lap of the race. So this is it. Jeff is in the ear of Max Senna. Got to give it absolutely everything again. Can you do a last lap Lando? Essentially, that's what he needs to do. He needs to pull a last lap Lando out of the bag. He wants to get past Skybits. Skybits also has his Jeff in his ear going, do everything you possibly can. Go defensive in every possible corner. Save your ERS.
Bit of a wall tap there from Skybits on my screen. Looks like his wing's still intact.
He's only got essentially 5.6, so they've already crossed the line. Probably about 5 kilometers right now to go to keep that fast Red Bull. He wants that, definitely wants that 5th spot. Just got to try to keep him behind. And obviously Max Senna is just going, I want that position, so he's giving him a go with the DRS as well.
This is the difference between 10 and 8 points at the moment. Skybit's trying to keep ahead and hold on to that double digits points finish. With a big oversteer there, looks like Senna will have a good exit though, right on the back of Skybits. Very close now. He's got plenty of battery too. Looks like he's saved up. Skybits trying to do everything he can. A little bit of a wall tap there from Senna. He's looking down at his wheel too much. He goes to the inside now. Into the hairpin they go. We'll see if Senna can hold the move. Goes very deep. Skybits going to come back at him with a switchback. Comes back and gets the move back up to P5. Goes Skybits.
And now Mikhail crosses the line to finish the race. We'll have to go to that. He's driven splendid.
And there we have it. Macau wins the Vietnamese Grand Prix. And P2 comes Becky B. Macau dominated this race, but meanwhile, Max Senna unable to get a move done. BTFU started on P2 on the front row. Down to P3 he goes. Started some solid pace at the end of the race here. Crosses the line with Dragonbone just behind him in P4.
Still gets to taste some champagne at the end of the day. In that little lane. Good last minute dive there from Max Senna, but couldn't make it, but had to try, and it was good and didn't take each other out. Even more impressed.
And
So
Max Senna with a 5-second penalty, the whole drop back, races through 3, jumps up to P6. And Skybits holding on to P5 with a solid finish for the Mercedes driver. Shrifium down to P9, and Kermit coming home with that last final points position. There you have it, the Renault driver in P10. And of course, Macau winning the race, started on pole. And your driver of the day from the game, Skybits, I'm going to have to go ahead and give it to him. Yet an outstanding drive. Of course, Dragonbone, an honorable mention as well.
All right, thank you very much. Give us a shoey there. Give us a selfie instead. Hold on, selfie. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Thank you very much, Macau. Another fantastic job for Australia. I'm very proud. And another fantastic win for you, sir.
Yeah, well-deserved win from the Australian. He dominated the race, dominated qualifying with his one-lap wonder, and comes away with the top set of the podium.
And on that note, thank you very much. I will have to depart, but it's been a pleasure commentating with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Great first time here at PPR with Bagel, so we hope to see you around very soon.
Thank you very much, and big shout out to everybody. Stay safe, take care, and I hope to work with you again. See you later.
See you next time. So now we'll go through Macau winning that race, Becky B in P2, BTFU in P3, and that rounds up our podium finishers. Custom unfortunately getting disqualified there. Not entirely sure how. We'll try and get some interviews up here for you guys as they join our interview booth. Waiting room. Macau's in here. We've got Becky B in here. We'll try and get BTFU as well. All right, we're now joined by the BTFU. We took him out of his conversation with the drivers earlier, but congrats on P3 there, man. Nice drive. Started in the front row. It looked like you struggled for pace there in the beginning, but came back and snagged that final step of the podium. How was that race?
It was alright. It was definitely a track that I'm still not a big fan of. I don't think anyone else is though, but my pace did not feel well today. Had wing damage in the first stint with the softs, and I had got more wing damage on the third stint with the softs. So it was a little bit of struggle, but ultimately happy to take home P3.
Okay, yeah, I think we were unaware with that initial wing damage. That makes a lot of sense. So we were hoping to see you put more of a fight there to Macau, but Becky V and Macau seemed to just take off. But congrats on the podium, man. Back-to-back podiums. Good streak so far for Season 2 PPR.
No, yeah, definitely. Credit to those guys today. They had great pace. I don't think I would have been able to keep up if I didn't have wing damage either way, but definitely happy to take P3 today though.
Yeah, man, right place, right time. That's solid pace. Congrats, and we'll see you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
We're now joined by the Becky B. Came home in P2 with a solid drive there, keeping up with Macau at the end. How was that race for you?
It was pretty solid. I mean, I kept my nose clean for the most part and just kind of. I was expecting not to be able to catch Macau. I knew he was going to be a little bit too fast, but I mean, I'm pretty happy with the result.
Yeah, man, you were right there at the end. Just that 2-second gap didn't really come down too well at the end. What was your thoughts in those final laps after the safety car?
I was excited at first. I was like, you know what, we finally got a race on our hands. Some interesting stuff up at the front, and then just wasn't really too confident with the setup for most of the race. A lot of understeer, so I think that's probably why I wasn't able to catch up to him. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with the result. I was just glad to keep it clean and come home in P2.
Yeah, man, you drove brilliantly, kept it nice and clean. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your love for this track?
I would say maybe a 4.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Not the greatest to drive. Of course, it was pretty fun to commentate and spectate. You guys put on a good show, so good job on keeping it clean, and congrats on P2.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Now we're joined by the Aussie on top, Macau. Congrats on the win, man. You drove brilliantly. Safety cars aside, you still had the pace to win it all. How was that race for you?
The race was good. Qualifying was very, very scary because I experienced some technical issues trying to get back into the session. Apparently, I was 20 seconds desynchronized with the rest of the lobby. So trying to fix that was a nightmare. I was able to get back in though with 30 seconds left in the session, which was relieving. So I'm glad I was able to drive. Yeah, it was the race. You know, it wasn't too much happening on my side of things. Just focused on trying to get a good start and making the soft tires last, you know, long enough so I could do the one stop. But then of course the safety car came out, able to put on fresh set of softs to the end, and yeah, just try to control the pace, control the gap, and you know, make up for the disaster that was Bahrain last week.
Yeah, you definitely made up for that mishap last week, but very dominant here. Kept it nice and clean. I don't think I saw a single mishap from you. Kept it on rails the entire time. So congrats on the win. Are you happy to be done with Vietnam and move on for the rest of the calendar?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I've, you know, between the preseason and now, I've, you know, improved a lot around, you know, Vietnam. I mean, this isn't my last league race around here for at least the next week. No, doing Vietnam in other leagues as well this week, but no, I'm glad that it's out of the way and I was able to maximize the points from one of my weaker tracks, I would say. Should have some solid pace next week in China, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just happy to maximize the points for the team, you know, and Striffium did well to score points. He was, you know, worried that he wasn't going to score or finish the race. So a big congratulations to everyone who did end up finishing the race. Heard a lot of chipped wings all over the place around the track.
Plenty of those, yes.
But, you know, I'm just glad that everyone who finished was able to at least get a point for, you know, surviving Vietnam.
Exactly, yeah, man. AlphaTauri looking pretty sharp out there after just 3 races. Congrats on the win and congrats on extending your lead in the Drivers' Championship. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you next week.
So there you have it, folks. that's gonna wrap things up. Appreciate you all for watching this stream. Give us a like and or a subscribe if you're feeling generous. Congrats to Macau and our podium finishers. We'll see you on Friday for Xbox D4. Peace.